Hey guys, Mike here. So you might be noticing SoFi stock is soaring in after hours, and the day has finally come. The game changer is here. They got the bank charter approval. We're going to go into what the CEO had to say and exactly what this means for SoFi stock moving forward, especially with earnings going to be coming up on the fourth quarter. So that will be a nice call to actually listen to when it happens. And so if you get anything out of it, hit the like, subscribe button for me, guys, and let's get right into this. As you can see by the charts, I'm recording this is up 17% in after hours after the CEO announced the news right here. SoFi receives regulatory approval to become a national bank. And they're going to say that the company announced that the Office of the OCC and the Federal Reserve have approved its application to become a bank holding company through its proposed acquisition of Golden Pacific Bank Corp. SoFi expects the acquisition to close in February, subject to completion or waiver of the remaining customary closing conditions. And the CEO, Anthony Noto, had to say, this incredible milestone elevates our ability to help even more people get their money right and realize their ambitions. And of course, the more important part is what's it going to do for the company? And we talked about this before, but this is huge for them. So SoFi currently relies on $6 billion in warehouse capacity alongside its own equity capital to fund lending originations because they can't keep our money or whoever's into SoFi in the bank and lend that out. And so they have to borrow it from other banks. So on average, SoFi pays 3% or 300 basis points to originating partners to lend capital to its members. But with the charter now, SoFi will be able to use its own members' deposits to originate loans like a bank, which means those 300 basis points in capital costs are eliminated. And of course, what does this mean numbers-wise? And these are just estimations, of course, but we'll find out more during the earnings call and stuff. But this year, you could be looking at an extra $193 million towards adjusted EBITDA. 2023, $234 million. 2024, $264 million. And then 2025, around $300 million. And so, you're looking over the next 4 years at least, close to anywhere from $800 to $1 billion extra. Now they don't have to borrow the money from the other banks and pay their interest rates. And of course, this obviously is going to help out their segments here, especially the lending segment. And so that's going to be huge. And don't forget what SoFi did in Q3, and this breaks them down right here. I mean, in lending, you had revenue of $215.5 million. That was percentage of total revenues of 77.4%. So that makes up the majority by a country mile. And the growth year over year was 21%. And you got Galileo, which is their tech. And you're looking at $50.2 million, 18% total revenues, 29% growth year over year. And then, of course, financial services only made it $12.6 million. Only 4.6% of revenues, and that was actually a 290% year-over-year growth right there. And of course, don't forget they like to cross-sell, right? This is all about how many products per member, and you can see right here this nice growth that they continue to do, and that's going to allow this bank charter with more competitive rates and things like that are going to allow them to bring even more members and cross-sell them even more aggressively. And let's not forget, you got management expecting in the Q4 here around 272 to 282 million in adjusted net revenue, up 49 to 55% year over year versus 28% year over year growth in the third quarter, and expected adjusted EBITDA of 2 to 5 million. And so obviously this is a big thing for the company. As the CEO said, this is a game changer. Okay, he said it. I think
national bank charter, which will really give us great competitive advantage. It lowers our cost of funding, allows us to give consumers lower interest rates on loans, higher interest rates on checking and savings. It really will be a game changer for us.
I've said it in multiple videos. You see what it did for Lending Club, did wonders for them. And I mean, obviously it can do no harm, right? I mean, if you're talking about not having to pay competitors or other banks interest, right, on money you have to loan from them, and being able to use your members' money to lend back out, not only to do that, but also be more competitive and be able to lower those rates even more now to get more people back in, then, that is huge right there, especially for them, because remember, none of this, as far as I'm aware, anything I've ever read, is in their forecast at all. So all this can do is put more money towards the bottom line. That's really all it can do, right? It can't hurt them in any way, shape, or form. And so that's the great thing. We were waiting on this. I think everybody, was just sitting around kind of waiting. That's why the stock really wasn't moving much. So, we'll see what it does tomorrow. Obviously, if you saw my earlier video, I mean, a lot of major support levels on the stock market are starting to be breached, moving averages and stuff. So we're going to have to see what happens. But SoFi should be I guess a bright spot come tomorrow. And so, I'm going to say this should not be a sell the news event. Hopefully this is a buy the news. It's up in there. We'll see in pre-market tomorrow. And, as much as we sold off today, you would think tomorrow would be a green day anyway. And so, congrats to everybody who's held the stock, anybody who bought the dip. I know I bought some shares in the dip. So, I just now regret I was so eyeballing that an option today that I did not buy for some reason. So, got a little greedy on that one. So, you know what? I'll pay the price on that tomorrow. And obviously, it didn't cost me any money, but just opportunity cost. So, let me know in the comments what you guys are doing, what you think about it and stuff like that. But I at least wanted to get this video out as quick as possible to you tonight. So, I'll end up seeing you guys tomorrow.